Baby.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we been.
Y'all better get comfortable with saying black.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause
Black versus the Board of Education.
Cause we came here, rid of us now. We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we came here, rid of us now. And you know that we don't ever go here, 'cause we been here.
That's why we are indeed a whole mood.
That's it.
Now, I know every single week I'm waiting for my air horns. We have not downloaded a new one, and I just cannot, in my spirit, play that other one. But welcome to another Monday of Black versus the Board of Education. We are here once again, and it looks like we have been kicked off of Facebook. So run that back, Tevin. Once you add those things back up, we want to make sure we do it right, and we have our guests in the house. So we will run it back as soon as we reconnect. And we'll try it one. Baby.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we been.
Y'all better get comfortable with saying black.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause
Black versus the Board of Education.
Cause we came here, rid of us now. We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we came here, rid of us now. And you know that we don't ever go here, 'cause we been here.
That's why we are indeed a whole mood.
That's it.
Bam, 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 bam. I had to.
So Keela had to do it. Okay. Well, welcome to another Monday of Black versus the Board of Education. My name is Miss Laureen, and I'm your hostess with the mostest. And we are glad to have you back because we have a great show for you today. We are kicking off our profile on nonprofits that are serving the community in their own distinct ways. And I'm so glad that I have my brother here today, and I know he's going to act up. But before we kick it to him, you know, we always like to tell you who's in the building. Today I'm going to start with Miss Melissa.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa. I'm 17 years old, and I'm a senior in high school.
So you're a senior in high school, and you spent the weekend at Cal Berkeley. How did it go?
It was amazing. I had a really good time. The Black Recruitment and Retention Center reached out to me and actually flew me out to come to campus. And I spent a couple days up there, and it was really fun. I met some really nice people. And while I was there, I heard back from Howard, and I got in. So I've heard back from all of my schools. So I got into Howard. I got a scholarship.
So what did you say? I'm sorry. The I didn't hear you over the hand claps. So what did Howard say? I'm sorry. What happened?
I got a scholarship to Howard. Got $20,000 a year.
Okay.
So I have some decisions to make. But yeah, so I've got all of my schools now. So now it's just a matter of deciding where I'm going.
And Anaya has her hand up, so that's telling me she's saying, come on over here with me because we could rec shop the Black versus the Board of Education way. So while we're kicking it over to Anaya, go ahead and introduce yourself, love.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anaya, and I'm currently a freshman attending Howard University.
All right. Okay. So we're trying to kick it. We're trying to have two baby bison on the show. That would be amazing. I think so. Anyway, Miss Quinessa, hey.
Hello, I'm Quinessa. I'm a youth advocate here at BYLP, and I'm happy to be here this Monday.
And so you have something happening this weekend. Why don't you share with the group? What are you doing this weekend?
My wedding.
Quinessa's getting
Saturday.
Married on Saturday.
Oh,
She found love.
congratulations.
Look at everybody like, what? Yeah, we didn't even know she was dating, right? She looks like she's 12.
I just turned 12 yesterday.
Okay. So Quinessa's getting married. Adrian, you don't have any special news like that, do you?
Nope.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. Get on my nerves.
Hello, my name's Adrian. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed, Miss Keela. Hey.
Hey, it's your girl Keela.
You married? You getting married Saturday too?
I am not, but I'm supporting.
Okay.
Because-
Supporting cast member in the building.
You know the deal.
You too? You're supporting? Okay. You too, Layla? Layla said, huh?
Yes. Yes, she is.
We're going to go with the yes. Okay. So we have a great show, like I said, lined up for you today. We are profiling nonprofits, especially in this area, because I get to work with a lot of them. And I want you to know about the great work that they're doing. And he's coming fresh off of a crab feed. He hosted his annual crab feed Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd it go?
Sold out.
Sold out. We'd like to hear it.
We don't get no bells and whistles for that.
You
Layla?
heard my snap.
Okay, thank you.
Hook me up. Like,
Man, I thought I was gonna have some theme music coming.
I mean, what would you like? I mean, we'll have Tevin pull something up. I mean, Layla, hook him up with the 70s group. Okay.
Yeah, let's get to it.
For the sold out crab feed. So listen, we talking about the crab feed, and we can cut that. Yeah. She don't know how to turn it off. Oh Lord.
Plug.
Okay.
Man,
Thank you, Layla. Thank you. So listen, I know who you are.
Yes.
But can you introduce yourself for everybody else? Before you do that, we are unveiling community champions in our nonprofit spotlight series. We have none other than Berry Accius in the building. So go ahead, tell us something good. Tell us something that happened, or introduce yourself, introduce your nonprofit and all that good stuff.
Berry Accius, Voice of the Youth founder and CEO, community advocate. And I always like to answer myself as saying I'm a father first before I'm anything else.
Okay.
So just a man, with a vision, a purpose, found myself at a good age where I could create some change for some of the chaos that I created in the communities, and enlighten and empower our young people to be a voice. Because I remember when I was coming up, I didn't have my voice. I couldn't find my voice. I found my voice. I'm a lot older.
Okay.
I had a voice when I was young, but that voice was misguided, misdirected, and it was leading a lot of people astray as well as myself. So in 2008, I had an epiphany. I stopped running the streets, and I said, I am going to create my own mentorship program. And it's started in 2008, and we're still here in 2024. And we have done some great things for youth, great things for the community, and we have maintained to be unapologetic, and we haven't compromised our integrity for anything or anyone. And sometimes that, doesn't hold well in this nonprofit world, but we'll talk about that later. But again, the joy that I have of creating impactful moments for some of our young people, that keeps me going. It keeps me, rejuvenated. Just coming and seeing this right here, as I give my flowers to my little sis and the rest of the crew. Just knowing where you started, kind of a little bit after where I was already started, and you were still working in the government confines, and you had this.
Well, you said after you started, like we started in 1999. So
what I'm talking about?
You talking about the resident troublemaker stuff?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about in the sense of, when did you start? When did you jump
2000 and I was part of BYLP in 2005.
Okay.
And I took over in 2009. So is that what you're talking about when I took over?
Exactly. That's
okay. There you go.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
So,
I got it.
Geez.
Because I don't want nobody, because your people be listening. They be like, hold on, we started in 1999. It wasn't me. Well, it was some other people. Exactly. I was just 2 years out of high school.
There you go.
Okay, come on.
And just kind of watching it, become what it's become.
Yeah.
It's a blessing for the journey, and it's a blessing for you continuing to be consistent. And that's one of the mottos of us. It's passion, patience, and consistency. When I started, it wasn't like an automatic home run.
Yeah.
It was a lot of
throwing spaghetti at the wall.
I mean, it was a lot of mistakes. It was a lot of, no money. You know what I'm saying? No money.
Well, we could talk about money still today.
Right. Well,
but,
some people have money, some people don't. But in the same time, it was also everyone telling me how to run a program designed for Black people. And I didn't know if I was more frustrated when Black people were telling me it, or other folk who weren't Black telling me how to run programs. And that's the reason why, because I've worked at group homes. I've worked for the city of Sacramento. And of course, when I was in my journey, I just didn't start a nonprofit, and it was just not working, because it finally, they say nonprofit, but you're going to figure out a way to make profit for yourself to be able to earn, so you could do this on a full-time basis, right? But then sometimes people believe you have all the money when it's not really true. You know what I mean? So watching this is a beautiful thing, because I know where you come from, and I've watched it. right? And that's the same thing with me. I could go back to 2008.
I know. I should have pulled the picture.
You should have.
Because he had on a whole bow tie. I mean, he wasn't as rambunctious as he is right now. But hold on. No, he was not.
Yes,
hold on. Because I want you to take a breath, because we got too many co-hosts on here that have not been able to give you a question. So I want to make sure that we answer their questions.
Yes.
And also, because you and I can talk all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to pass it over to Melissa.
Hi. My question is kind of a general question, but just to get to know you a little more, what specifically is your nonprofit?
Mentorship leadership program for young people ages 13 to 25. We predominantly deal with African American young men and women, but we
boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Okay.
Yeah, boys and girls. I'm not the individual that. First of all, I have a daughter, so I'm looking like some of my own, thing about doing what I was doing was like, I want to make sure that I get these boys right for my daughter to go ahead and do what you're doing. You know what I mean? I want to make sure they get these boys right, and at the same particular time, I don't ever want to be on the other side saying I should have done something when I could have fixed something. So I feel like the boys and the girls, they need it. And I see in this next turning around, the girls need it just as bad, as well as needing men in their lives that are going to deal with them unconditionally with love and wholesome, without no weirdo isms and things of that nature, because I know those things are out there. It's just real.
Yeah. Anaya.
So I know about a month or so ago, we had a conversation about the behaviors you were noticing in high school girls. So I want you to kind of touch on that and then maybe give a piece of advice or kind of say something to any of, about that.
Listen, things have been, from the time I've went to school, for the time, I've watched my, my own daughter, be in school, and now outside of her not being in school and all the other kids, I've definitely seen the young girls are a lot more turned up than the boys. 110%. It's like the boys have gone to utilizing the gunplay and doing all the kind of things with that, and the girls have become the ones that before, back in my days, we're jumping people, fighting people, being catty, so to speak. Your girls have been catty, but it's like it's no longer a smaller group, it's a bigger group, right? And they engage in a lot more mess because of social media. So that's a high influence, as well as I think a lot of understanding and finding themselves. So many of our young people spend so much time trying to justify their behavior because of something that social media has kind of poisoned them to believe is true and what they should be doing.
Now I'm gonna jump in there, because it's not just them justifying their behavior; it's their parents too.
Girl, don't get us in trouble now.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. I'm sorry.
Go there, and at the same particular time, and we go with, just to talk about the parents piece. My daughter knew I was always father. I was never friend.
Ooh.
And I'm not knocking what some folks are doing, but I watched the level or the lack thereof, real structured, disciplined men in households for some of our young babies, especially our girls. I'm seeing that it's playing a major part of how they're delivering and how they're showing up. Young lady, and this is how I get down. Big unk, I'm pops, whatever. She comes, first time coming to my spot. She's coming to the crab feed. She did something. And I just said, hey, but everyone's telling her, listen, Unc.
He don't play like that.
Yeah, it's like, just move cautiously.
Yeah.
So then she just kind of kind of brushed it off. And then I looked at her. I said, what's that on your neck? She's like, said, that's tacky.
Ooh.
Said, don't let no boy put no hickey. I'm hoping it was a boy. I don't know, whatever. But, it could be whatever.
Yeah.
But don't allow a hickey to be put on your neck like that.
Yeah.
You're only 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't think she took that, well. But again, of course, I, hollered back at her and just let her know, yo, you gotta move a little bit differently, because you don't know who you're gonna meet, you know who you're gonna see, and you don't want someone kind of tatting you up like you're my property. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that I feel that our young girls as well as our boys are moving and growing up way, way too fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just kind of like the thing I'm seeing is we were always speed laning in our growth process when we were younger, but I think social media has elevated a lot more because you can see everything going on in real time.
Gotcha. And for those who are just joining us, we are in our series, our Black Brilliance Unveiling Community Champions in our nonprofit Spotlight series. And Berry Accius is joining us today. And I want to make sure that you know that your comments are always welcome and your questions. If you are watching right now and you have a question that you want to put in the chat, please feel free to do so. Adrian, it's on you.
So you mentioned earlier that you kind of had a epiphany going from like street life to mentoring.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you could touch more on that, like what caused that epiphany and how was that transition during that time?
Do you really want to know the story?
Yes, we do.
I always say this. I was into a lot of street-ish, but I was never a street like. I'm never going to say I was a certified street. But I was definitely a hustler. You know, it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? And I was into a lot of illegal activities. Right. Mm-hmm. So I one day woke up. I remember thinking my daughter was going to be in 5th grade. And I remember I was in Portland, Oregon, doing what I was doing. And I said to myself, this ain't working. You know what I mean? Because I was like, how much of the game how much more of my life am I going to give to the game? Because it's this lifestyle that so many of us men and women get addicted to. It's not about the streets. It's just a lifestyle, right? A lifestyle that we've concocted in our mind. That's the righteous way to move. And I was just like, I got so many more years to give. And eventually, if I keep on doing this, because I haven't gone to jail yet, I haven't had to, get caught up by law to where I was in a position to where you're going to have to say some things because, things have happened. I haven't had to lay the murder game down or ask somebody, hey, take care of this business. Haven't had these things. I've had everything else happen. But eventually, if I keep on going this route, it's going to be that. Mm-hmm. And am I ready for that? Right? Am I ready for the repercussions of that? Am I ready for some white judge to tell me, okay, Berry, you got 25 to life, 10 years away from your daughter? Hey, or am I ready to be inside that wall or when them folks is talking to me? Hey, Berry, so, we got you with all this stuff and, so who is it from? What's your guy? We've been trailing him. Supplier? Yeah, right. Am I ready for all that? Like, or do I want to gracefully bow out, say thank you, but no thank you, and start trending in a different kind of way that's respectful for when my daughter is like, what does your dad do? She's not like, well, I think he's a construction worker. Like, why is your dad never around? I don't know. What are those weird white girls he's with? I don't know.
Why does that be weird white?
Well, hey, you know what? Let's follow the yellow brick road if you're going to follow it. We're talking about his unapologetical truth. Or just say, I just had to create a better platform for my youngins because what I learned is legacy matters. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No matter what a person can say about me, they can say a lot of things, but they're going to have to look at the work and be like, yo, that dude put in work for his community unapologetically. So I really, when one of my nephews, Brayshawn, who helped create, Brayshawn Jackson, who helped create Voice of the Youth in its infant stage, when I came up with this epiphany, who created the logo, and we've never changed it because of him, who he passed away in 2009 in a car accident. And, me and his mother, that was my partner when we first started. And of course, unfortunately, my sis wasn't able to move forward because this was a tragic situation. I remember going to his church and I was still kind of in my fog about, okay, is this mentorship program going to work or do I go back to the streets? Because I was always teetering back and forth. And I went to the church and I was like, all these people know this dude? And I saw thousands of people coming for this young man who only lived for 19 years. And I watched that impact that he did for only 19 years. And I had to ask myself, would people come to a church or where I'm going to lay my head for the last time, a memorial, whatever, what are they going to say about me? Mm-hmm. What kind of stages of impact have I created for them long term? And that really took me to a different place. And I say, I want to change up a lot of different things. And I want to make sure that, my legacy is concrete because my last name is more important than my first.
Keela.
It's funny that you mentioned like legacy and stuff. So I was going to say you announce yourself as a father first, right? Yeah. So like, what message do you want to leave for your kids?
Be patient with the process, trust the process, understand you're great, understand you're worthy. You're worthy of all things. Success doesn't come easy. It takes, I was just talking to my guy who just got out after doing 19 years. I said, my brother, the race is not about the sprint. It's about the marathon. Shouts out to our good old brother Nipsey Hussle, who kind of really, flagged that for us. But it's the truth, right? I want and when I say father, I'm a father of so many. One of the most beautifulest things I could say is, mentoring young people. I actually got other kids that are like my children for real, and I own that. I don't pretend like they're not. Like, yo, that's my kid, because you spend so much time cultivating, and it's such a beautiful thing. That's why I never understood I don't have no knowledge of why men or women don't want to sacrifice a bit of who they are for their child, because that's what we're leaving after we go. It's that.
Yeah.
So for me, I always say father first, because I feel like none of this stuff matters if my daughter ain't whole, or the kids that I support ain't whole, or they don't feel love. You know what I mean? I don't care about accolades. I don't care about who people think or what I'm supposed to do or earn money. I don't care about none of that stuff. I care about, do they feel genuinely loved and worthy of love? And I think that for me, that's why how I created my program in the way I felt like this is what I wish I could have had. I had my father. I had my mother, but unfortunately my mother was, mentally ill throughout my whole process. And I had my aunties who were like my mothers, but they were like pit bulls. So I wasn't getting no nurturing over there. You know what I'm saying? And my dad was an all-world dad. He was the first person that I got to see how to unconditionally love, because he took care of my mother and he didn't have to. There was divorce and he took her in. So when I say giving back matters, the first most important person that I saw giving back was my dad. And I never knew how much that would play out into what I'm doing right now. But I saw it in the crib. I saw the example. So my thing is leaving a set example for our young people to move in. Because I think that when you travel and navigate through the teenage year, young adult, and then being a full-time adult, we need to see better examples and clear examples of what that looks like.
Miss Quinessa.
Going back to what your comment about like the way social media has impacted the youth that you're serving now, how does that change the way that you mentor them from before social media was as popular as it is?
Girl, it's difficult. And you know what's difficult is because funders don't understand how difficult it is.
Facts.
We're at PS5 and the funders are still at Atari. Maybe they moved to Sega, Dreamcast. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just being very, it's just being very clear, because as times change, once upon a time, the Sacramento Kings played where? They played in the Thomas, right? And they played on, what was the arena called again? Arco Arena, right? And it switched up about 10 different times, right? Then an epiphany came. They're like, well, how can we generate more money and put it into a place where more people can get to? They brought it downtown. So all the advancements of how they proportion what the importance of with the Sacramento Kings and I'm just saying it because it's in our city, right? And how they invested and they did this, they did that. I was like, well, dang, how about if we did that type of investment to our young people, knowing that they're off the Sega Dreamcast, they're on the PS5, and they're damn near about to get off the PS5 and get to the AI. Why aren't we advancing our mentorship and how we deal with our young kids, especially our Black kids?
Yep.
Right, with the things that they need. And that's why when we do our college tour, right, our transformational travel that we've pushed, expose, experience, excel, we've gone back to the old school of, remember those times when we went to field trips? I love those field trips. Girl, listen, yeah. We're going to get our kids back outside, but back outside in a proper way. And I think that's what helps create those kids to create memories. And then I don't mind when they're in social media and we're in Atlanta. Look where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're putting them in a positive direction. Not they're outside and like, what? Why you got that gun?
Or the middle finger, or you're bending over, or any of those other things.
And listen, and I know that they got a lot of that from us, their parents, right?
No, they didn't get it from me.
Well, I was the middle finger. I was like Tupac, the middle finger king. But but again, that was Polaroid. It's not nowhere you can find it, right?
Right.
So I think that it's a lot more difficult because the kids don't have to be engaged the way they used to be.
Right.
We can't just talk to a child like all day. Like we used to be having the kids in circles and we're talking. The kids is going to be like, all right, dude, you got about 10 seconds. What? Like, I ain't got like 10 seconds because I'm going to be off you and boom. And then even when the start of social media happened or phones, you were still being told, put your phone away.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you can't have your phones here. Now it's like you can't even say that. You don't even ask that. You just probably say, hey, you guys mind if you guys can just and then hope the kid's like, all right, you cool, we gonna put it away. So and I know people might think this is crazy. You got to be able to learn how to entertain these kids.
That's right.
You got to have some humor. You got to give them something that they may have. Like the kids are no longer just going to just take, okay, I came here for a couple snacks. I could go steal some snacks at the 99-cent store. What you got for me? Yeah. And if you don't have an opportunity for them, that's why I talk about a lot, then why do I need to really be here to hear you and listen to you? I know my life is effed up. I don't need to hear about it because you're not going to get me out of this household. So why do I need to listen to you? So it's difficult, but the dopest people don't necessarily like fall into all of the cachet things. We kind of meet their youth at their level, but we're still leveled up and we bring them up. That's why there's so much value in mentorship groups that are really hands-on. You can't just no longer bring kids in. You have to spend quality time.
That's right.
And that's why you'll see us doing like the normalest things. And they'll be with a group, whether it's some shopping, whether it's some ice cream socials, whether it's, just a check-in to break down some bread, like we call it breaking bread for whatever. We have to be able to be face-to-face with these young people.
Melissa.
So this is kind of based off of Naya and Quinessa's question. So you mentioned that as social media has gotten bigger, like the behaviors in people and specifically girls have changed. And to Quinessa's question, you said it's like harder to address those behaviors. So what has been the shift in the mentorship to kind of address those things and get them under control? Not even get them under control, but just mentorship as a whole. What has kind of been the switch and the things that you've had to change or things that you think you might have to change if you haven't figured everything out yet?
I don't think we've ever, if I said I figured everything else, I'd be a fool and I'd be lying to you. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly being shown different ways and different elements of how to, deal with kids. I know a lot more of the young people, a little bit more sensitive than I'm used to. So a direct type of messaging sometimes is not always the best way. Unfortunately with the young lady, because I'm such the father instinct, and I'm sure that she probably didn't like me calling her out like that. I still needed to know, like, yo, that's just not cool. You know what I mean? I get it. I understand it. But like value yourself a little bit better, because I don't like watching young girls twerking on social media. I don't like, watching my young girls middle fingers up. I don't want to see them do the Megan Thee Stallion challenge. I guess it's time to be ratchet and all that stuff. I get it. I'll have fun. But it's just like, yo, let's have a better balance. So I think to, really, you're constantly learning and you're listening to what the youth are saying, listening to what you guys are saying, paying attention to what's happening. You know what I mean? Getting some needed advice and counsel from our young people. What would you like to see? What do you need? How can we support you? I know mental health is a huge thing right now. Big. So I feel like, getting into the mental health spaces with our young people and letting them be able to express their emotions and be able to show them how to express their emotions and how do we deal with conflict resolution, right? Yeah. How do we deal when moments are stressful? How do we handle that situation? And I feel like we're missing these things. They're not teaching that stuff at school.
Nope.
You know what I mean? They're not like embracing.
Well, the adults at the school don't even know how to do it.
Listen.
So how they gonna teach it? Like, let's be honest. Because we wouldn't see the discipline numbers the way that they are if they knew what to do on the school's campuses, especially when it comes to our children.
And listen, and a different thing about exactly what's happening outside of social media, parents aren't being parents.
Well,
and I think a lot of parents can kind of attest to that, because I just know that I could probably ask 10 people, hey, do you still sit down and have dinner with your kids? Like, how many days a week do you do that? Because me and mine, it was every single night. Every single night. It didn't matter if we was over here at a restaurant. It didn't matter if we was cooking together or I'm cooking, you doing homework. Every single night, me and my daughter broke bread and we was right there like, all right, what's up? Yeah. No phone, no nothing, like what's happening. And I know Fex, I'm busy. I was busy as heck. I'm going to prep some food. I'm going to be able to do some different things. We got the good 5-minute meals that we used to have, the good little tacos,
that's, what I'm saying? Tacos, spaghetti.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, the spaghetti. Oh, spaghetti going to stay 3 days. We might eat spaghetti 3 days. Hey, we're gonna be doing a spaghetti sandwich, but
Spaghetti sandwich. Wait.
Yeah, that's just another thing. We'll talk about that next episode.
Okay.
But how many parents are really getting in to know their child?
Yeah.
Because when I be peeping some of the kids that I know they parent, I'm like, I know they're not approving this.
Yeah.
I just saw a child and I'm like, Mama A1. And I saw a gun on the floor and he's throwing up gang signs. I'm like, you're not even like that. So I just really believe that a lot of this stuff is just, everyone can fall on society, but what goes on in the household is a very important thing. And I just hope that someone hears me and that they don't look at it and be like, you think you're Mr. Too Good. No, I went through struggles all the time, but I also knew that I was going to change my life to better my kids' life. And now what they decide is what they decide, but they're never going to be able to look at me. My daughter will never be able to say, my dad didn't. She's going to be able to say, well, my dad did. Homecomings, yeah, we got you the limo. Graduation, oh yeah, you turning 18 too? What's up? Boom, we'll pay for that. And it's not about money, but I know these are the things that they want to do, And guess what? We're going to bring all your friends, surprise party, and it's good. I got you. We don't have to worry. We don't have the kids because, I don't got no. My dad got us. It's good. Oh, what? And I'm not no Cosby.
I don't know if that was the good.
I don't know.
Analogy.
I was going to say.
I closed my eyes and I was
I
like,
don't know
oh
if we were supposed to do that.
I was going to say, wait, hey, no Diddy, but
no Diddy is
wow.
better.
Okay. I mean, and I like the Cosby Show.
No, I'm just talking about the Cosby.
Okay.
We're not Bill. We're just talking about the Cosby.
Okay,
show.
the Cosby Show.
Not Bill.
Okay.
But
Shout out to
Cosby Show,
Vanessa
You
and
need to
Rudy
make that
and
clear.
Theo.
Yeah, all that. I made it clear.
Sandra.
All right. So
Now.
I'm just saying. I thought y'all would get it.
No, I got you.
Okay, appreciate it.
Speaking of graduation, we do have celebration weekend coming up, and I want to make sure that your kids are fully integrated.
They loved it.
Okay, so this June 21st to the 23rd, we expect Team Void to be in the building. Miss Anaya, it's on you.
Yes, so you mentioned parents and how someone's home life impacts how they act. So I just wanted to know, through your program, how involved are the parents and what relationship do you have with the kids' parents or the youth's parents?
The best mentorship pieces that I've got outside of maybe having kids that are just outliners and just want it are parents that are involved. Parents that are connected, that I don't have to go talk to the kids. I can call the parent, hey, yo, check this out. Especially the parents that are like, they know that that child is now like a part of me. Like that's my niece, that's nephew, son. They know. Everyone knows the claim, and it just works better. It just works better because the kid ain't gonna play no game. Like I gotta, unfortunately, I gotta bust the kid tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because they did something that they weren't supposed to do, but me and the parent already had it. So it's like, oh, so you did? Oh, okay. Well, I got something to say. So we got to bring our kids back because it's like, don't try to be slick. You know what I'm saying? So
with that splitting behavior, I'm gonna tell you one thing and I'm gonna tell you something else, and then we gonna try to figure it out.
But I've also become like, for some of the parents that don't have like the father figure or the male figure, I've become that part. You know what I'm saying? The other voice that they need to be able to balance it out. Because again, everything in life is about balance. I mean, I just know in the generation that I was from, it was so normal for us to like have absent someone, right? Of course we was hit with the crack 80s, so it's gonna be some stuff. Right. But at the same time, I also say some of the crack mamas and fathers were some of the best parents. They just was on dope. And it's just real. You know what I mean? Somehow, some way, you wouldn't even know, like, wait, your mama, because they was functioning and they was making sure kids were disciplined and kids were in line. So it's not like we haven't mirrored the same issues. I just think that.
Well, I think families were more involved though, because grandma, and the extended family also came around to rally around those parents. Now everybody's in silos.
And they're selfish.
Well,
they're selfish as hell.
You said it, I didn't.
I'm just being honest. I mean, if we're going to be honest, they're very selfish. People are not sacrificing the way they used to for our kids. And at the same particular time, they also think the kids are just going to figure it out.
Yes.
We used to be the generation to figure it out, but this is not the generation to figure it out
them.
Because there's too much exposure. When I went outside, I didn't know what was going on because I had my beeper. I'm like, oh shit. I couldn't see the CNN headline like over here. It was just 911 or
143 304.
Bring me back. And then some of the things they're all like, you owe that.
They're like, what?
And then at the same particular time, for us, a lot of that curiosity was real.
Right.
like, so when it was like coming to, do certain things, like, I really don't know.
Right.
With this, it's like, yo, everything is
Y'all
out
know
there.
everything
And that's
because you're
scary.
exposed to it.
We had
earlier and earlier too, though.
We had to open up a dictionary. Y'all Google.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or encyclopedia.
Listen,
y'all know what an encyclopedia is?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all do know.
And whatever.
Thesaurus.
Yeah. Elementary school, okay? Elementary school.
And
Thank
then,
you.
And then even like to get someplace, like it wasn't no freaking Google Maps or whatever thing they got. We had to be like, what's your address again?
Right.
And fine, we go up in the hills, like, oh, I think it's this way. Make a left or right.
Well, we used to have to read the maps, and if we didn't read the maps, there was this, was it Google Map Quest? And it would tell you.
I'm talking before.
Yeah, you print it out and then read the directions.
I'm talking about before that.
Before that.
Good directions. There you go. That's real stuff.
I didn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we was taking buses and it was okay.
Yeah.
We didn't.
And we were okay, and we didn't see that as a slight to, our status in the world. We didn't see it as something that was beneath us either.
And no parent was gonna come run up and sit there.
That's right, Mama Thomas guide.
Listen, and no parent was gonna come up running up to the school fighting for us.
No.
What?
No.
Matter of fact, I'm not telling my parents that I got into a fight. I'm calling my people. We taking care of business. You'll find out a little bit later.
Right.
So it's a lot of weird stuff that happens, and the dynamics I feel of the youth and our parents is such on this destructive path that I'm super scared. They say at risk youth. I say all kids are at risk.
How about that? And they don't use at risk anymore. They use at promise because, of Reggie John Sawyer's bill at the state capitol. Miss Keela.
So you mentioned that this is your 10th annual craft feed.
Yes.
I would like you to expand on that. What it is, what does it mean to you?
And did you reach your goal? We want to know.
Yes.
Because I be trying to explain things to people with these fundraisers. Like, you damn near put like $10,000 to $12,000 in fundraisers just to kind of get like 30 or 40. And if you don't get big sponsorship that's paying for this and paying for that, it's like you're just kind of just having people come for a craft feed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So last year was better, but I know the economy, but though we sold out, right? So it's kind of was weird, but we did have prices higher. Now going to the crab feed, how it all came about is one of my beautiful, mentees who's like a daughter to me, Janera. She was going to San Diego State.
Janera Whitney?
Yeah. So,
okay.
So daughter for sure. She's in Houston. Got a husband,
baby,
beautiful, just living a beautiful freaking life. Let's shout out to her. Let's give her. Can we get a little?
Can we get some hams? Thank you. Shout out to Janera. I'm gonna have to tag her in there.
Yeah, tag her on this part because I just love her life so much because she came from nothing and became something, right? And I'm loving to say that I helped pour some into the ingredients, some of the ingredients to mix into the gumbo. But anyway, she was in San Diego State. The kids we still had at Sac High. I had a majority of my kids probably going to Sac High at that particular time. She called me up. She's like, Dad. So I said, what's up? So I'm about to do this BSU thing over here at San Diego State. I want you to be a keynote speaker. I said, keynote? What's a keynote speaker? I said, San Diego State. I was like, girl, you sure? The high school's no, yes. I said, the universe. I said, your university. So Dad. I said, oh, okay. Yeah. I said, girl, sign me up. So what do I do? Okay, well, I need you to send me an invoice. I said, wait, I'm getting paid?
Yeah, because that's new.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I said, let's go. So then we were just talking. I said, well, shoot, damn, we need to do something. She's like, you know what would be dope? Because her sister was also going and she was in my mentorship program as well. She's like, would be dope if you brought some kids down. I said, you know what? I said, daughter, yeah, bring some kids down and we'll make it a whole college tour. Because I had kids in Long Beach State, I had kids at UCLA, and I had kids at UC San Diego. So right there in 2013, that's what created the college tour. But then how we needed to get some money, because I was like, well, shoot, we need to get some money. I got skills because I'm a chef by trade.
He be cooking, y'all. He didn't bring no food today. He's something else.
No, I'm
See how he be hating? Anyway,
really, I'm like really
seriously delicious, right?
Yeah, seriously delicious.
I don't know.
No, you need to know about it.
Well, you should have
that.
So
then what ends up happening is, we do the crab feed to help support. And from there, it just boomed. So I was able to speak as a keynote speaker 3 times at San Diego State. And then what now we have is the Black Excellent College Tour. after COVID, I think I wanted to jump up and do something a little bit different. So then we added the HBCUs because I wanted our kids to get an example of both sides, right? And it's just been such a beautiful, bountiful thing. And with 90% of the students that participate, get ready for this, get ready. 90% of the kids that participate and go to college, they graduate.
Hey.
So, there you go.
Hey.
And we have one of our kids that went to our college tour last year that went to Howard. Guess what? They got the letter and it said, congratulations, you're going to Howard University.
I love it. Come on, baby bisons.
And that was her first time jumping on a plane and going to visit these colleges, but she always had a dream. So that's kind of where it all emerged, and that's how it all kind of built out. So we're blessed to be able to have all those people that's continue to support. Thank you guys for your sponsorship. It's always helpful and needed and necessary. I just wish and I hope that people would really see that the transformational travel kind of work is that next wave that we need to be able to get these kids going to London, Africa.
They need passports
Israel.
first.
Well, you definitely need. Y'all ain't got passports, right? Y'all got passports?
I have a passport.
Oh.
I have one.
Please.
Layla said, "Sign me up."
And we're not talking about a passport just to go on a cruise.
Right.
We're talking about a passport to see the world.
I have one, but I've not seen the world just yet.
And you'll get there.
I'm working on it.
And I think that for me, when we expose these kids like that, these kids, I got one kid that's over there just doing her thing out there in Hawaii because guess what? We was the first time bringing her on the airplane. So as soon as she turned 18, she's I'm out. I'm like, what? You going? I'm going to Hawaii, Unc. I said, yeah. I said, why are you going to Hawaii? She's all, because I'm 18. I'm going. I said, all right,
okay,
girl.
you grown.
I love you for it.
I feel it. And it's so important. And I think that because you were touching on the sponsors or the people that have money, and they need to understand that exposure is key. Exposure is one of those things. You're really talking about doing something transformative in a kid's life. You got to get them out of their neighborhood.
100%.
And that's where you'll see them start to flourish. And we actually have our little trip coming up next week. We're headed back out to Lafayette. So we're excited. We're excited. And although they're not in high school, they're young adults, and we're gonna expose them too.
Well, here's the thing about it. Like I got one of my 19-year-olds, right, who just actually got his diploma a couple months ago, and he wants to really change his life. He's been in the streets. It's like, man, I'm ready to come home to Voice of the Youth. I said, come on, nephew, I got you. And it was such a beautiful thing because the last few weeks we've been working. He's been coming up, got him a job and everything like that. And I picked him up for our crab feed, and he was with me from like 11 a.m. to 3 because it was the grind is real.
Yeah.
And somebody texts me and say, hey, do you have anybody that I might need to sponsor? I said, I actually do, because it was like, dang, I wish I could go to the college tour, but I don't have no money. I said, I don't know, nephew, we already got everybody situated. And this lady hit me up, and I was like, I actually do. And I said, you serious? She's like, yeah, what does he need? I said, this. And she gave double that. I said, oh, okay.
Thank you.
And then I hit up nephew because he's been trying to find a way, and he's seeing signs, right? Yeah. And that's the beautiful part about mentorship. You don't give up on the kids.
Right.
You don't give them, let them go astray. But like I went astray. The reason why I came back, because my dad already set up the foundation. My aunt's already set up the foundation. Foundation is important. Too many of our kids are walking on sand and mud. They're not walking on just concrete.
Yeah.
And that's why these kids lose it, right? I was always running the streets, but I had foundation. So my kids and my partners, when they was doing their thing, their foundation was mud, sand. I had a concrete foundation. I just wanted to be out there.
Right.
So when I gave him the text message, I said, dog, somebody just sponsored you. He's like, get out of here, Unc. I said, I promise you, somebody just sponsored you. And I sent him the text message. He's like, Unc, I've been praying. I've been praying for these opportunities, and everything is like falling back in place. And I was like, this is why I do the work. And when beautiful people are able to see that transformation, because we're giving kids opportunities, we're not giving up on him, and mind you, he was one of my knucklehead kids. I said, you got to get off the bench, man. You got to go this way, man. Can't have you poison the crop, my guy. But when he was ready to come back home, I said, all right, let's do it. What we going to do? We're going to do something different. He's like, yeah. Now I'm so excited that he gets to go. One of the schools we're going is Texas Southern. He has some friends that go there. So when he gets to get to go on campus, and he's going to be like, yo. And now his mind and his mentality switched up. Right. I'm no longer thinking streets. I'm thinking school.
Mm.
And if it's not for school for a little bit to kind of fine tune what things he likes to do, he's able to get an opportunity. And he said, Unc, I haven't been on a plane since 5 years old, my guy.
Mm.
And that to me is the power of transformational travel, because you people keep on telling us we can't use the money to feed our kids.
That's right.
Every kid come in hungry. you can't use the money to travel outside of Sacramento.
Right.
Everybody damn near is tired of Sacramento, and a lot of them got ops in Sacramento. Right?
Yeah.
So what are we to use our money? Well, guess what? I'm gonna go find my own money, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And eventually our community is going to see. We can't keep on just bringing kids to Kings game and you give us these high seats up here. Hey, you know, we don't want to go to the River Cat game. No one baseball player out there.
We went to the River Cats.
No,
we
it's
were
fun.
chilling. And we didn't know nobody, but
it's fun.
shout out to the River Cats. We love the free tickets.
And I'll take them all as well. That's probably why I don't got them right now. I'll take them all as well. But I'm saying that we have to be able to get our kids to explore and see something different. That's how they buy in.
That's right. That's right.
I'm finna go mess with my team boy because guess what? They finna show me something different than what this is going on over here.
That's right.
We got to be able to,
be
solidify
creative
ourselves and be creative.
That's right. Adrian,
can you kind of give your opinion, kind of stay on what you think can you give your opinion on what you think the state of Black America is today and where you see it going?
Lord.
You don't want to hear that.
Here he go.
Yes,
okay, come on.
Trash. Trash. We are a delusional type of people. And I'm going to be like very honest. We hate ourselves more than anybody even cares to hate us. Like nobody in this world has to do nothing to Black people that we ain't going to do to ourselves. Like this whole illusion, this whole idea that everybody is worried about Black people. In some ways they were, but they're like, I don't know. I'm going to disagree.
Nah, well, we'll just disagree.
Well, we're going to have to. Because if we got our stuff together, we're
everybody ain't it. Everybody ain't it though.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying.
But we can't generalize.
He's saying state.
Okay, but I'm in the state.
Okay, and I'm gonna say the state is trash. Trash. Because overall, we have lost our way of learning how to empower and bettering ourselves. We have such this, like when you watch the stuff that is going on to some of our elite African American males or females, the reason why these things are happening, it's not because it's a witch hunt, it's because they drank the white wine.
Ooh.
And they found and thought that they were a better Negro than everybody else.
Okay, we'll agree there.
They were really pawns. And all they did was manipulate, utilize, and navigate in these white circles, feeling like, look at me.
Untouchable.
And now they've gotten touched.
Mm-hmm.
And what you haven't done is moved us forward.
Ooh.
One of the things that I've hated in Sacramento, and I've always talked about it, and it's disgusting to me, and I think a lot of people should be disgusted by this. I remember when I first got into this whole thing, and I remember we had 4 Black council members that were Black.
And he's talking about the city of Sacramento for anybody that's confused.
Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
We had the mayor, and we had 3 Black men.
Yep.
I said, oh, snap.
We're going to get something done.
What? No, I never said we're going to get something done. But I was like, all right.
You were hopeful.
Hopeful.
Okay.
And then I looked at it. I said, selfish ass Negroes. Can I say ass?
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
I mean, you said it. I mean, we didn't beep it out. I mean, dang.
Don't get me and I know that's not the politically correct thing, but
but it's real.
But the reality of what I see, and I was talking to one of my Afghanistan brothers who said he was a freedom fighter. And I said, when did you come over here? He said, I came over here in 1999, and I'm looking at him in his yogurt spot. I said, dang, okay. And it went back in 2004. And then I said, okay, you established yourself. And I'm looking at these folks, they're coming in and they're doing so many different things. And I'm just like, why is it that I can go on Stockton Boulevard and I can see a resource of power building of Asian community?
You want to know why? I mean, if you really want to know why, we can talk about why. Because they are able to get the loans that they refuse to give to Black people. But sometimes the folks ain't got their paperwork straight, and they're not in a position to receive. So we have to say that, but we also need to understand that we've made it okay for other people to come over here, and we've disenfranchised Black people, and that's through all kinds of things, including redlining the Black codes and everything else that we can say,
but you know what?
history wise.
But here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like where so many, and I look clap, give her a little soul clap on that.
No. And I don't want no soul clap. I just want to make sure that we're not perpetuating a story when we're not. Come on.
I'm also going to break what I'm.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Bottom line.
Yeah, let's do it.
You got money, right?
No. Wait, what they say the other day? I plead the fifth on the basis that it might incriminate me.
Okay. What I'm saying, in a power structure, if we all had like $10,000, right?
That ain't no money. But go ahead.
We just in a timeline of all of us here at $10,000. The land was like 200,000 or whatever, like that. You know what I'm saying? We all put our money together and like, boom, we're gonna go buy this land. Ain't nothing can stop us from doing anything if that's what we want to do in our communities. You got every Martin Luther King Boulevard looks like what? Trash.
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't know.
People, and it's Black people in the communities without having to be told or said that could support and clean it up. Every city I go to across this America, there's a Chinatown and it's flourishing.
But
so, yes,
why?
But here's the thing, sis. So I do understand all of the things that you said. Yes, those things are put up against us. But like I said about the entertainers and the athletes that we gravitate to and we idolize. And then I talk about 4 Black politicians that have sat there and looked like, well, everything's good here, while one Negro sat there and gentrified his own community.
Come on now.
And kept it all to himself, right?
Okay.
Black
and they don't know who you're talking about, but I do.
Probably some people might do. But we don't, as a unified set, and we don't support each other in a way, in a magnitude that it takes to build, or someone doesn't go out there and say, yo, I'm going to be the guy, everybody fall in line. Some are going to be like, well, why you got to be the guy?
There you go.
Or why you got to be the girl? It's like, come on, man. Well, who else is going to set up? So we're so busy arguing about, well, who going to lead? What? Can't we just all follow this blueprint that I got right here? Excuse me.
No.
This Black blueprint. So as much as I know all of those things fall on us, yes, but we still are not self-determined enough to jump through those navigations to be able to correctly, properly do the stuff. And I say that because all I can say when I say trash, I look at how Black kids are behaving all through the country. So who are we going to blame on that?
That's at home. That's at home.
You know
But we cannot. It's not always just the home life that our kids are coming up against. Some of them don't have those problems at home, but they're still acting a specific way.
100%.
And I think that a lot of times we put them in positions where they have to fend for themselves because we are out to lunch and they've learned how to defend themselves. And that comes across as them being aggressive. Right. And so we have to have both those conversations. It's not, we're a monolith of a people.
We're not a monolith.
Right.
For sure.
And so we can't say or look at any other community who has been enriched coming over to this country, who's had millions of dollars at their disposal. We can just look at the equity budget they did for the AAPI equity budget. Although Black people are the #1 group in the state of California that are subject to hate crimes, but they didn't put no money into the Black community.
Okay.
They gave it to the AAPI because of COVID. And we have to acknowledge that.
And we do acknowledge that. And we understand
I don't know
that.
if they do, because
But
I sat
here's the thing.
in that room in Southern California and I questioned them about
Okay,
it.
but let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Why wasn't I in the room?
I don't know. Why weren't you in the room?
I don't know. And that's the problem. Because Black people will help sabotage other Black people.
Well, I don't know, because this was a mandatory meeting for those who were part of the California versus Hate or Stop the Hate California,
Here's
one
the
of them
thing.
things.
Let me tell you something.
And they pick and choose based on who applied for
Okay,
the
but
funding.
here's the thing.
So did you apply for the
Let me
funding?
tell you, let me give you a
Okay,
story.
let's talk about it.
When that Asian and Black hate popped off out here in Sacramento, this is what they was throwing.
They were.
Okay. Asian folks was getting attacked by Black people.
Let's not do that.
Well, here's what
Let's
I'm
not
saying.
do that. Let's not do
This is
that.
what they said.
That's what they said.
Okay, sis, but this is what I'm saying. They
Okay.
said.
All right, let's keep the
Here-
narrative straight.
No, I'm keeping it right.
Okay.
Here's Berry Accius. Hey, that ain't what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my Asian people. Can we get this press conference popping?
Right.
Now we're all having these meetings.
Mhm.
I'm setting the bar like, bup, 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 bup. Now, when whatever's supposed to happen, I'm like, all right, so what are we doing? Okay, well, all right. I'm disrupting the whole stage at this point because I'm like, you're not going to create this narrative and stop allowing Negroes to be criminalized when it's like this is far from the truth. You know, if to be honest with you, we can flip both sides and see that there's a lot of Asians doing some things to black people. Now all of a sudden you have this thing that you're talking about, the Asian hate thing, whatever.
Well, that was a state thing. And
yeah,
so
the state thing that came out.
But what I want to tell you is when I questioned them about that, what the chair of the budget committee at the state said, well, if you wanted more black people in the room, you need to talk to your black caucus. And I have a problem with that.
And again,
I have a problem with that.
And again, that speaks to why we trash, because what we have is legacy organizations, legacy leadership that gets co-opted and just gets paid and does whatever is told for them to do, and they don't let disruptors to move the chain.
I'm sure they wanted me out of that room.
I'm sure they did. And that's why we don't ever move anywhere further, because we have to do, yeah, master. Okay. That's what we got. We got those.
You right.
And we don't have enough individuals that strong arm and they're like, man, cut all this. No disrespect to my Asian folk, but I got every single other day, I got a parent calling me. I got a child crying, talking about a hate crime that's happening in their school.
Right.
In every district. So please tell me and explain to me why we don't have something specifically for black people to protect my black kids.
That's what I asked. Hey, look.
But the Negro who tells me who's getting paid or getting their flip, we're going to give you this much money. Okay, we'll just get quiet. Berry Accius, don't let that nigga in the room. Oh, don't trip, you didn't get an email. Because I'm going to sit there and say, that's what I'm here. I'm here to disrupt. That becomes a problem. We have sold ourselves out so many dang times.
Not we.
Okay, well, I will say they.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not part. We're not part of the they, right?
No.
Okay. That it's unfortunate, like we're still at these stages of talking about the same thing that we've talked about over and over and over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what my frustration is. And that's why I say we're trash, because it's like, are you serious? We still are like kind of at this sub level.
But it's all by design. Right. And I really I appreciate the conversation, because I like to go back and forth like this. If y'all haven't noticed, we'll do this all day.
This is just this.
But I think it's important to underscore, there are a lot of things that we as a community need to do better. There are a lot of us that are existing in these spaces where we don't invite other people to the conversation. I'm one of those. I can't invite people to a conversation I was invited to, right? But I can say, hey, did you look into this person, or did you contact this person, right? It's working the way that they designed it to work. Right. That's the system.
Or is it working in the way that we are allowing it to work?
Well, I mean, not too many of us are at the table to even push the issue and to require anything different.
I've been at plenty of tables pushing the issue, and then all of a sudden, where's Berry at? He's just this.
Well, you've been at tables I wasn't at, so I don't know.
My seat was right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's an empty seat, because I know the way of the Negro. I know, I've been around, I see it. That's why that's why a lot of us move in like just a way of selfishness. And as long as I get mine, I'm not worried about the overall. And sometimes we need to always feel that we're in this equitable fight, so some cats can continue to pay their own bills. Because if we're not in an equitable fight anymore, then why do we need you? We don't need you to break down equitable processes, because we're past that. Can we get past that? Why are we still in this situation?
Because we've allowed them to be in the situation, because we look at the number. Well, a lot of people are giving opinions, and they're not even looking at the numbers that are being produced. They're not looking at the reports that are being produced. They're going off of emotions and feelings. And I like to deal with facts, right? And in order to really approach a situation. No, I don't believe that. All of us are not trash. There's a subgroup out here that may be considered trash. I don't believe our people are trash. I think that our people are brilliant, and I think that we need to get to them a little earlier. Our children are learning from the examples that they see, and I don't believe in in this whole celebrity worship, because I think that's a decadent veil. I don't think they're as rich as they want you to believe that they're.
A lot of them are broke.
So we got to know that, and I want to get the young people in here because we're running out of time. We need to see. We've been going back and forth so long. Oh my God, Quinessa, do you have a last question? And we'll come back to everybody for your last questions. We'll do it really, really quickly, round robin style, and you get about 30 seconds to answer each question. That's cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Told y'all to get 2 hours.
You did say this ain't enough time. We might have to do a part 2 then.
I would love it.
Okay, go ahead.
What advice do you have for someone who's starting out in advocacy?
30 seconds, bro.
I mean, just never
Cliff note.
never allow the sticks and the stones that they throw at you to break you down, and stay on mission.
Melissa.
Okay, y'all were going in. That I was really tuned in. I have a lot of questions about that, but question.
That's my sister. I love her.
I love him.
Sheila asked a question about like being a father and having the legacy, and one thing you said that really stood out to me was be patient. Being patient is part of the process. How have you used that kind of motivation in your life and your organization?
Just now recently that folks are starting to give me my flowers and my awards, and I was like, well, shoot, I've been doing this for a long time, and you've been giving it to everybody else. But I was like, if it comes, it comes. If it don't, it don't. But guess what? Every time I see one of my kids become successful, I just is like, that's a win-win for me.
Anaya.
What do you think the students learn most from the college tours, specifically the HBCU ones?
They are really, truly Black excellence. Even though I said we're trash, I mean, I'm just, metaphorically, I'm just saying that. I love us. I feel we're Black excellence, but I'm just gonna call it what it is. We're behaving like trash. So they get to see that could be me. That could be me on the campus.
Keela.
What am I getting my plate?
Oh.
Niece, I got you.
I'm holding you to it, hunk.
Girl, listen. When I bang on his door and she got the only plate, y'all gonna be like, I thought, like, no.
I just need some stuffed salmon with something.
I got
Is it only seafood?
Just remember your girl Keela. That's all I got.
Oxtails.
He does Jamaican. What is it? Haitian food? What
I'm
is
doing
it?
it this Saturday. Come down. This Saturday.
African market?
Yeah, African market. Yeah.
Seriously, delicious eats.
I'll send you guys the menu.
Do you have a last question, sir?
Nope.
Miss Quinessa, last question?
No.
Okay, perfect. We want to thank you for spending some time with us. I know you said we needed another hour. We do. And I think that you and I should think about a podcast together, because I would be arguing with you the whole time. But it's in love. You know what I mean?
And again, because I think that another thing that social media has created such a division between thinkers, and I feel like sometimes, and we've had to work through a lot of our difficult things, and that's why it's a beautiful thing. Conflict is okay as long as you're able to navigate through the conflict. And me and my sis have had real moments where I was like, I don't think I'm ever talk to this chick again.
Well, I didn't know that. Wait, hold on.
We just because when we're both passionate about our young people, and folks are trying to lead us in the direction, you guys should do it like this. And you have all these elders telling you like, hey, oh, wow. It's like, nah, man, we're going to do it the way we are supposed to do it, because we see what our kids need. I would just appreciate and value what this space is, what this space has become. And I value you young people. So I hope that you guys just continue to not limit yourself and continue to move forward and elevate. But the most important thing about the elevation, grab somebody with you.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying?
Look at, she gonna dap you.
That's what I was
Okay. She gonna dap you up because she's in agreement. She's in agreement.
No. That's the most important thing. Let's not play the crabs in a bucket mentality.
Because we don't belong in no buckets. Crabs don't belong in buckets. That's why they're trying to get out. You're not supposed to be in there in the first place.
The only buckets we should be passing is buckets of money.
That's it.
To each other to support and break these generational curses. Because I am about breaking generational curses and creating generational wealth, generational opportunities, and walking in alignment of what Black men are supposed to look like, what a real Black father is supposed to look like, how a real man is supposed to stand in my community. And that's serving all the communities. Because, of course, we just don't do mentorship. We really serve our community. So I'm just thankful to be in the space.
And we're going to encourage him to take his butt to the doctor because that's where he needs to be.
Boy,
Amen.
Don't say the doctor because people are like, what is wrong with him? It's
Okay, I'm sorry. He injured his leg.
Yes. Don't have rumors.
And he won't go.
People got cancer.
No, he does not. But we need to encourage y'all because we're only as strong as the men in our community. And if nobody ever told you, we need you. Right. Look, stop playing. Stop playing.
I'm just saying.
We need you guys, and we need you to be healthy and whole. And you cannot serve at the level that you are serving at. And I'm preaching to myself. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody.
Looking straight at you.
We can't help other people. Shut up. We can't help other people if we are not healthy and whole ourselves, and we are not taking the time to take care of ourselves.
No.
And so we need you. We need you to be healthy. In part 2, we're going to talk about the most disliked popular guy, right? And all that. And you guys are leaving for your HBCU tour when?
HBCU tour, we leave in April 21st up to 28th, April 28th. And we're going to be going to Louisiana. We're going to go to Texas.
What part of Louisiana y'all going to?
Wherever the college is at, New Orleans and Baton Rouge.
Okay, so that's about an hour from where we're going to be in Lafayette. Yeah, but what day is that? The 21st?
The 21st.
Okay, so we won't be there till the 23rd. But
we'll be there. We'll be probably leaving the 23rd to Grambling State because Grambling State 5 hours for no reason.
Oh no, for no reason.
See, that's what's wrong with these Negroes, right? Like, why do you have a college? Let me stop talking.
I've never been, so I don't know.
Because it's 5 hours away from other places. Who wants to go there?
I'm sick of him. Look, get out of here. So
the college tour, if you want to support, www.voiceoftheyouth.org. Support. I mean, come on.
Give them that Cash App though, in case they don't want to go to the website.
Cash App, Venmo is Team Voy, as well as our PayPal is onevoiceoftheyouth@gmail.com. Or you could just holler at me directly, Berry Accius, on all social media platforms. Holler at you, boy.
That's amazing, and we support it, and we expect everybody else to support it
I thought
well.
you was gonna pull up on a crab feed. I
don't eat crab,
but I just wanted your
but I love you. I love you. I don't remember where I was.
I was probably just catting off.
Oh no, we were at Sylvan, right? And then I had a young.
That was more important.
No, it's not about being more important. Now you're being messy. Anyway, we're getting out of here. We're gonna hit y'all with the peace sign because he gonna keep talking to me.
I'm just saying, man. Come on, man. Let's get to it.
We'll check out. Hush up. So we'll see you next week with our second community champion right here on Black versus the Board of Education. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.